body hurts, and the stuff I have to go through just to have a normal day is painful on every level. And so I live in despair. At the size that I'm at now, I can still get around, but it's difficult. I feel pain in all parts of my body. I'm exhausted all the time.
Let's do it. Focus on me. Another step. One more step. Come on. Sorry. Come on.
I'm losing my strength. These are scary. We're gonna do one at a time, one leg at a time.
Okay, things are already looking wild. Nathan needs help putting on his hospital clothes. He's all, I can never get these on right. And the nurse swoops in like, I got you. You can just feel how nervous he is, which is honestly kinda sweet, but just wait. This is only the beginning of his big day.
We have to put these on. I never get these on right. They're gray this time. I'm here at the hospital for my weight loss surgery, and I'm excited to finally get something I've needed for years.
Dr. Now jumps in with some real coach vibes, telling Nathan he did a great job losing weight before surgery. He's like, good job, buddy. You're really making this a lot easier and less risky for everyone. Nathan is just beaming, loving the extra thumbs up from Dr. Now, but things are about to get serious as they head into the operating room.
Nathan, you ready for your big day today?
I am.
All right. So far, you have done a good job on losing weight, and that makes surgery and risk much less. So you're doing good, and you're ready for this.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna get you started, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Nathan's here acting like a wise old man, talking about how this surgery is basically him being reborn. He's saying goodbye to his old self like he's in some kind of soap opera finale. Nathan's pumped to wake up as a brand new dude with a fresh start in life. Soon, Dr. Now's about to explain just how hardcore this surgery really is.
Because I'm starting a new life today. So this is kind of like a birth in a weird way. Because it's the official start of the new me. So I'm excited about that and the fresh start that it's gonna give me. Because I'm leaving the old me behind. And when I wake up, I'm going to be a new person ready for a new life. And I can't wait for that.
Dr. Now is straight up giving us a crash course in surgery risk. It's intense. He's like, all right, this is big, high-risk stuff, folks, but Nathan's put in the work, so we're giving it a shot. Even with all the hard work, it's still no walk in the park because Nathan's body is under a lot of strain. And just like that, the team is getting ready to make this happen.
Today, we're gonna attempt to do a gastric sleeve on Nathan. So far, he's done a great job and has continued to lose weight and lost another 14 pounds this past month. He's down to 521, so he's motivated and he's working hard and started doing what he needs. So I think he's ready for his...
All right, so now the clock is ticking, and Dr. Now tells everyone they need to hustle to keep Nathan safe. Too long under anesthesia, and things could go south fast, so it's like a race to finish the job. The team gets right to it, all focused and serious, knowing every minute counts. Coming up, they're even bringing in a robot to help speed things along.
Okay, starting the first incision. But he's still around 500 pounds, and he's not very tall. So this still is going to be high-risk surgery. Go a little bit higher. Okay, let's transition now with the robot.
They're busting out the fancy robot to keep this show on the road. How cool is that? Dr. Now explains that the robot will help them be faster and more precise, making sure they're not taking any more time than needed. It's like a high-tech cooking show, but with a lot more pressure. The stakes just keep getting higher as the surgery rolls on.
But I'm hoping that using a robot will help us safely go faster. So the surgery will not be a long operation. Then hopefully we will be able to complete it without issue and give Nathan an important tool that will help him lose more weight.
Meanwhile, Nathan's friends and family are biting their nails in the waiting room, probably wishing they could fast forward time. They're trying to stay calm, telling themselves it's just another surgery, but let's be real, they're super worried. They just want to hear everything's okay so they can finally relax. And finally, the moment of truth is about to arrive.
I am waiting to hear that Nathan is recovering so I can see him. I'm not worried because this surgery is something that is done so often, but sometimes things, happen when you're in surgery and under anesthesia. So I'm looking forward to just knowing that he's come through everything successfully.
Big news, the surgery's over and it went like a dream. Dr. Now comes out like, yep, all good, mission accomplished. Nathan's on track and everything went as planned, so everyone can finally breathe. But here's the kicker. Dr. Now's about to reveal just how much of Nathan's stomach they removed.
All finished. Nathan's surgery went very well. We were able to complete his sleeve gastrectomy, and he's doing very well. Nathan had a very long stomach and a big stomach. We were able to remove 80.
Dr. Now is out here holding up what used to be a massive stomach. Yet they took out 85% of it, which is nuts. Now Nathan's tummy is small enough that he'll get full fast, and his days of mega meals are officially over. Dr. Now's like, yep, this thing used to be a food factory, but now it's on a major break. Nathan's new journey kicks off now, starting with a pretty strict diet.
This is Nathan's stomach we took out. It's a very long stomach, and that can hold a lot of food. So he's going to be able to lose weight much easier after surgery because he's going to be able to eat small amount, get full real quick, and not be as hungry. And operation is going to give Nathan a better...
Dr. Now gets real, saying the surgery's great, but it's not magic. Nathan's still got to work on why he overeats in the first place. He's worried that Nathan's partner, Amber, might struggle because she's had this surgery before and didn't stick to the plan. Dr. Now's hoping both of them will take this second chance seriously so they can get healthier for good. There's still a long road ahead, but Dr. Now's ready to help them both tackle it.
Gonna do very well. I'm a little bit more concerned about Amber because she already had the weight loss surgery. So she already has had a tool to help her. And it failed because she ultimately didn't stick to doing what she needed. But hopefully at next month's appointment, we will see enough progress from her to show me she's trying to turn things around so we can move ahead with her weight loss surgery and start working on addressing the issues driving both of them to eat.
Man, this started out so sweet and cozy and then flipped upside down fast. JT talks about his happy childhood with a big family, tons of sibling hangouts, and free hot dogs at his dad's work. Even though they didn't have much cash, these were his favorite memories, just eating together and having fun. But then, like a plot twist no one asked for, his parents got into some serious drugs, and life just went from happy family dinner to struggling to survive. And if you think that was bad, just wait.
I had a pretty big family growing up. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother, and I'm the oldest of my siblings. And we were pretty close-knit. We did everything pretty much together. We had our ups and downs like any other family, but things were good. We didn't have a lot of money, but my dad worked for a hot dog restaurant.
This is where things get totally bonkers. As his parents went deeper into their bad habits, JT and his siblings were left to fend for themselves. At just 10 years old, JT was already feeling the weight of being the oldest and trying to keep things together, which he mainly did by turning to food. A lot of food. So much food, in fact, that his weight shot up, hitting 300 pounds by the time he was 13. And yeah, this is just the beginning of JT's wild weight journey.
The biggest one being that I didn't realize that my parents started doing drugs. And as I got older, their habit got worse. They got into harder stuff. Instead of buying things like clothes and food, my parents would use the money to buy drugs and alcohol.
It's hard not to feel bad for this guy. JT was so big he couldn't even fit into the regular school desks, so he got a special seat that basically put him on display in front of everyone. Friends? Nah, he just had food to keep him company, and that led to even more pounds piling on, bringing him up to 450 pounds by age 15. And if you think this sounds tough, hang tight because it only gets rougher from here.
From then, my weight tripled, and I hit 300 pounds when I was 13 years old. And getting that big then, of course, made things even harder, because I couldn't fit in my desk then, sitting in chairs like the other students.
It's a miracle he even made it through this. JT took on a job to help his family and was pulling double duty with school and night shifts at a fast food place, which did not help with his food addiction. The nonstop stress drove him deeper into depression and deeper into food, so by the time he graduated, he was well over 500 pounds. Then he got a pizza job, and let's be honest, free pizza did not help matters one bit. And yep, next comes the really heavy stuff, literally.
Like I was almost out on display. So I really didn't have any friends. I just had food in my family. So I kept eating as much as I could whenever I could and put on another 150 pounds or so. So I was up around 450 then. But at that age, my family started to become a lot more
This news must have hit like a truck. By age 22, JT hit 600 pounds and found a massive, painful lump on his leg called lymphedema. His doctor warned him he'd be lucky to make it past 31 if he didn't change, which hit JT hard. But feeling stuck in a loop, he kept eating more and more, completely unable to break the cycle. Sadly, this is where things start to snowball even faster for him.
I was 19, started working at a pizza place. And I love pizza, but the deal was the same there, where I could eat for free. And by the end of the day, I had eaten 4 or 5 pizzas on my own. And a bunch of breadsticks were cinnamon sticks. And I just loved it. Food started to become this all-consuming passion of mine. I always wanted to be eating.
Seeing how much this changed his life is rough. JT had to quit working because his weight made it impossible. So he went on disability and basically became a full-time eater. He got a dog to keep him company, but food was still his #1 buddy. Alone and eating every day, he felt like food was the only thing keeping him going. Then came the surprise. Someone else would enter his life.
Where when I turned 25, I had to completely stop working because I couldn't physically do it anymore. I went on disability. I'm guessing I was around 700 pounds then. Since I couldn't take care of my family anymore, the one thing I didn't want to do is become more of a financial burden to them.
This part's a total plot twist. Jessica, his girlfriend, came into his life and actually saw past all his struggles, bringing a spark of hope, but his size started to worry her a lot, and JT realized he was risking their future together. Food was still his go-to, even though he knew it was hurting their relationship. And just like that, JT had even more to lose if he didn't find a way out.
All I know is it's gotten to be too hard to do most everything. If it wasn't for Jessica in my life, I don't know what I'd do or how I'd survive.
We met originally on a dating app, and when I came to JT's house to meet him for the first time,
this realization was way too real. The doctors were giving JT limited time left, and now he could feel his body giving out under the extra weight. Every night, he feared he might not wake up, struggling just to breathe and in constant pain. He was barely able to move or do anything at this point, and even the smallest tasks felt like they took all his strength. This was his final wake-up call. He knew he needed to make a choice.
Running out, so I don't have a lot longer, because at any moment my heart can just give out, and that does scare me. But losing food scares me more, and that's the problem. It was really good though.
thanks.
I appreciate it. I want to live, but I don't see how I can without food. So I know I need help.
And here we are at the big crossroads. JT hit rock bottom and knew he had to make a change or face some serious consequences. Part of him wanted to give up food for his health, but the thought of living without his one comfort was terrifying. He's got his back against the wall, trying to imagine a life without his only source of happiness, and now he just has to decide which path to take.
Move over, Bella. I don't think I have another year in me. So I either have to find a solution to help me finally change, or I know there's no way I'm going to be alive for much longer.
Oh man, this was rough to see. Samantha talks about how her weight has pretty much taken over her life, and she's worried she'll end up stuck in bed forever. Just walking around is a major chore now, and it's like every day gets harder and harder. She's feeling like her life is some horror movie she can't wake up from, which is super intense, and believe it or not, things are about to get even more exhausting for her.
It's so miserable because I've let my weight get so out of control that I'm barely functioning, and it's getting harder and worse every single day. And I know I'm very close to becoming bedridden. So at this point, I wish my life was just a nightmare.
Okay, this part was tough to watch. Samantha explains how living alone is almost impossible since her size makes getting to the bathroom feel like a whole adventure quest. Fitting through the door is a struggle, thanks to her stomach making things tricky, and by the time she gets there, she's already wiped out. You'd think that's enough, but nope. Wait until you see how hard it is just for her to clean up.
Right now, I live by myself in a one-bedroom apartment on the 2nd floor. But my size makes it almost impossible to do anything on my own. I'm barely able to even make it to the bathroom because walking is so difficult.
You'd think things couldn't get harder, but they do. Samantha's gotten to a point where she only bathes every 4 days because it's so tiring and painful. She has to use tools like sticks just to reach parts of her body. Talk about DIY hygiene. Her big fear is one day she'll be too tired to even do that anymore. And in the next clip, we'll see how she's using food as a way to escape all this mess.
Since I could stand in the shower like 12 years, and it's getting so hard to keep clean. I've had to go from bathing every day to about every 4 days because I have to work so hard to do it. But even on days when I push myself to do it, some areas I can't even reach.
Whoa. This is where things get real about her food habits. Samantha shares that food is pretty much her escape from her problems, like a cozy blanket, but made of snacks. She even has her food deliveries scheduled, so she doesn't have to move much to eat. Walking to the door to get it is almost too much, but she's more focused on the tasty meals coming her way. What comes next is Samantha trying to figure out how on earth she'll actually get to Dr. Now's office for help.
So all I want to do is find ways to forget about my life. So I eat because food lets me do that. And that's mostly what I do. I have food delivery set up on a schedule starting in the morning. I have to have it brought to me.
This scene just shows how tough it's become for her to get around. She's desperate for help and wants to see Dr. Now in Houston, but the only ride that works for her size is a bariatric ambulance, which is tough to book. She's scared out of her mind since time is running out, and she doesn't know what to do. And you won't believe the effort it takes for her to take just a few steps next.
And I can't fit into any vehicle except a bariatric ambulance. And there's not any that can get me from Denver to Houston. And I'm terrified because I don't know what to do because I'm almost out of time and I don't want to die.
This part was super emotional and really painful to watch. Samantha tries to take her first steps with some help, carefully moving toward a vehicle, and each tiny step is like climbing a mountain. She's in a lot of pain, but she's got people cheering her on, and it seems like the start of something good. Next up, Dr. Now's got a serious game plan for her, and it's going to be a challenge.
That was just a horrible experience. I'm glad it's done now, and I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm just really hoping that I can make it because I'm getting worse by the second. I've never been in this much pain and it's really scaring me.
Things are getting serious here, folks. Dr. Now explains what Samantha has to do. Eat only 1,200 calories a day with no snacking, or else she risks becoming completely bedridden. Samantha nods and says she'll try, realizing it's now or never for her health. Soon she'll be back at home alone, and things aren't looking any easier.
I'm a realist, and I just assume that if I keep going, my heart's gonna stop and it's not gonna come back. Something's gonna happen if I don't fix it.
All right. So what plan you have to get healthier so you can travel and come and see us? What is the plan?
What is the plan?
You can practically feel the emotions here as Samantha finally leaves the hospital. She's lost 40 pounds, which is awesome, but she's super nervous about being on her own without the help she had in the hospital. She's still determined though, and really wants to keep getting better. Her daughter's about to share her own worries about Samantha's loneliness, which makes things even more real.
After months in the hospital, I'm very glad to say that I'm finally discharged. And I'm able to go back home with my weight down to around 900, which is a 40-pound loss. But I'm also nervous because I'm not gonna have all that help like I did in the hospital.
This was honestly heartbreaking. Samantha's daughter opens up about how worried she is that her mom might feel too lonely or even have dark thoughts. She's really scared her mom will feel hopeless without anyone around and is worried she won't be okay by herself. What's next is a peek at how Samantha's struggles are hitting her daughter hard too.
On her own whenever we leave, and that's terrifying to me. She's been in the hospital for so long that you have people constantly checking up on you. But here, she's on her own. She has at first, everything was fine, and then everything went south really fast.
This part is one of those sigh of relief moments. Dr. Now congratulates Samantha on how well she's done after surgery, especially since she's stuck with her plan. He tells her she'll need both physical therapy and counseling to keep her progress going, so she can stay on track. Next up, he's about to talk about just how important all this extra support is going to be for her journey.
And it just progressively got worse.
I'm so overwhelmed. Stop shoving food like that, please.
It's really hard to watch her spiral like that.
If you thought things would get easier, think again. Dr. Now warns Samantha that while the weight's dropping fast now, it'll slow down, and that could mess with her motivation. He tells her that having therapists and physical therapists by her side will help her stay strong and not slip back into old habits. Samantha's still got a long road ahead, but with this support, she's hoping she can keep moving forward.
May get down a little bit, she may get depressed, and she may kind of want to go revert back to old habits. So it's very important for now for her to have support with behavioral specialists and physical therapy.
All right, this is about to get wild. Bethany's back to see Dr. Now, hoping he'll notice she's been putting in some effort to lose weight. She's been fighting off cravings, sticking to the plan, and really hoping it'll show. But she's super nervous. Did all her hard work actually pay off? Or is Dr. Now gonna call her out? Just wait, because this appointment is about to go sideways.
I'm back for another appointment with Dr. Now. I also had my second therapy appointment a few weeks ago, but like I've been saying, things overall haven't really gotten easier or better. But I've been pushing myself to do better this time. I haven't given in to any of the cravings.
Oh man, you can feel Bethany's frustration here. She's honestly giving it her best shot, but the scale just isn't showing what she hoped, and it's driving her crazy. She thought it would be easier after surgery, but it's not, and she's seriously wondering if something's wrong with the whole thing. She's ready to snap, and just when you think it can't get more awkward, Dr. Now's got a lot to say.
I'm really upset and I don't get it. With how hard I'm trying, this doesn't make any sense and it doesn't seem fair. Because it's supposed to get easier after weight loss surgery. But it's not, so something has to be wrong.
This is the part where Dr. Now does not hold back. He's got zero chill. He tells Bethany she's falling back into her old eating habits and that if she doesn't get a grip, it's going to end really badly. He's like, look, no surgery's gonna fix this if you don't handle your emotions, and it's clear he means business. Bethany just nods along, but you can tell this is about to get even more real.
All right, so Bethany, it is a little over 4 months since your weight loss surgery. So obviously, that's a very bad situation we have with you. So you want to tell me what's going on and why you're pushing yourself to eat what you shouldn't be again?
Now things get a little serious because Dr. Now wants to take a look inside her stomach. He's worried she's overeating and maybe even stretching out her stomach again, which could totally mess things up. So he schedules an endoscopy to see what's going on in there. Bethany's a bit freaked out, but she agrees because honestly, what's next could change everything.
You got that?
Yeah.
But before you go back home, I want to do an endoscopy so we can do that and see if we can get some biopsy in your stomach and see how things are. Because with how fast you're getting after surgery,
Dr. Now is not playing around with this warning. He's laying down the law. He tells her if she keeps eating the way she is, her surgery could fail, and she might end up right back where she started. He's like, therapy isn't optional here, it's your only hope, and you can see he's giving it to her straight. Bethany's just staring at him, but oh, there's still more in store.
a situation around before it's too late.
I don't even know what to think right now with what Dr. Now is. This is getting even scarier. And I'm really hoping nothing's wrong. And that what he's worried about hasn't happened. But if there's something wrong, I just hope it's not something serious. Or anything that's going to make doing this even harder. Because I don't think I'd be able to take any more setbacks right now.
Okay, so here we go. They're finally getting that camera into her stomach. The endoscopy reveals her stomach's actually still okay, so the surgery didn't mess up. She's just snacking all day instead of following the plan. She feels a little relieved, but Dr. Now's like, nope, this isn't a free pass. But even though her stomach's fine for now, what Dr. Now says next will blow your mind.
Today we are doing an endoscopy on Beth. We're putting a small camera down her esophagus into her digestive system to take a look inside to see if she started to stretch her stomach back. All right, we can turn the room light off. Okay, let's get started.
Dr. Now doesn't sugarcoat it. He lays out exactly what she needs to do. He tells her that falling back into comfort eating is her main problem, and that if she doesn't tackle it, all the progress she's made will vanish. Psychotherapy, he says, is the only way to deal with her emotions without overeating. He gives her one last warning and you can almost hear the clock ticking. This is her final chance to turn it all around.
Those issues and coping in healthier ways. If she doesn't, then it will just be a matter of time before she starts to undo her surgery and lose all the progress she's made. And if that starts to happen, she's going to very quickly end up in a place where we won't be able to help her.